Hello, welcome to this update. Let's see the severe weather forecast for the U.S. and Canada and some more stuff. So first, the severe weather in the U.S. There's a slight risk in parts of Colorado, Kansas, and southwestern Nebraska, and a marginal risk from Colorado to Nebraska, Kansas, and those areas. Marginal risk in parts of eastern Nevada, northern Arizona, and central western Utah, basically a big portion of Utah, and southeastern Idaho, and a marginal risk parts of Minnesota, North Dakota, and South Dakota. General risk of storms in parts of the southeast and some other areas. So let's see, tornado threat less than 2%, but always be aware. Wind threat 15 and 5% there, be careful, and 5% in the marginal, and hail just 5% there in all the areas. So be careful. The greatest threat for severe gusts and hail appears to be over parts of central high plains this afternoon and evening. So be aware there, but it's still early in the day. This outlook might change later. So, but be aware. Let's see what the latest model has for this. Let's see. So there's some showers there, and the storms in Canada, and then it shows this afternoon the storm starting in Utah, northern Arizona, some stronger severe storms, and in Colorado, the stronger storms in eastern Colorado into Kansas and Nebraska, especially later this afternoon into this evening. Very strong severe storms in northeastern Colorado going to Nebraska there and Kansas, so be careful. Those storms might have some damaging winds, some big hail, and you never know. There's no tornado threat today, but you never know. Stay safe. So shows more storms in the southwest, some areas there, and those storms in Minnesota there later this evening shows mainly Minnesota, but the marginal risk goes all the way through North and South Dakota. So let's see. The storms in the southeast, a lot of rain in Florida, a lot of storms there through Florida, especially this afternoon, southern Georgia, so be aware there. With storm, lightning, rain, wind and stuff, even water spouts, so be aware there. Let's see. This is mainly it. Let's see some cape, some stuff. So the mixed layer cape shows more parts of South Dakota, Nebraska, and northeastern Colorado. Some more cape there. Let's see, even later continues. Those areas in northeastern Colorado, Nebraska, around 2,000 and something joules per kilogram. Let's see. The most unstable cape shows more around northeastern Colorado, Nebraska, and South Dakota there, around 2,000 to 3,000 joules per kilogram there. And then let's see, the surface-based cape is more there as well, especially Nebraska, northeastern Colorado, around 3,000 joules per kilogram possibly, and South Dakota there. So let's see. The updraft helicity, the probability of rotating updrafts. This indicates like large hail and damaging winds and perhaps tornado. So it shows more than northeastern Colorado going to Nebraska, the probabilities for the stronger storms. Let's just see. Another one from earlier today showed a little more south into eastern Colorado, but also showed there. And let's see. The significant tornado parameter is very low today, but there's still a hint or two there of parameter, but very low. Just later this evening shows a little bit higher, some areas of Nebraska and northeastern Colorado, but very low. So stay safe from those storms. And the outlook for tomorrow, day 2, shows a marginal parts of Montana, South Dakota, North Dakota, Nebraska, Colorado, and even Kansas. Not the marginal parts of Utah, Nevada, no, Utah, parts of Wyoming, and Colorado, and general risk of storms in other areas. So be aware there. Let's see, tornado threat less than 2%, but be aware. Let's see, hail is 5% in both marginal risks for hail, and wind is also 5% there in those areas. So be aware. Wait, and day 3 is already a marginal part of the Four Corners, parts of the Dakotas, Nebraska, Kansas, Colorado, and Montana, another marginal. So marginal severe storms are possible on Saturday across parts of central and northern high plains near the Four Corners. So be aware there. And let's see for the discussion for day 2. Marginal severe storms with hail and isolated severe gusts will be possible Friday across parts of central, northern high plains and parts of Intermountain West and Central Rockies. So be aware there. Let's see some stuff. So first, the rainfall today shows a lot southern Georgia, Florida, more in the west, the plains because the storms, the southwest, the storms, more through Minnesota, the Dakotas, and Canada because of the storms, and more the Pacific Northwest because another system there. Tomorrow, more in the west there, more across northern California, Washington, especially Oregon, British Columbia. So a big system there with some rain. So still more in Florida, in the Bahamas especially, more storms and rain. Some in Texas, more in the Rockies, the West. So be aware. Day 3, Saturday, shows more in the Midwest, might be some storms there, the Southwest, the Northwest, and the Southeast, especially Florida. So be aware. Sunday shows more across the north, especially Canada, more in the south there, but like in the southeast, kind of in the Gulf, and some isolated in other areas. Next Monday shows more across the southeast, more in the north there, and some other areas a little bit. Next Tuesday shows more in the south, some areas of the north, some isolated in other areas. And next Wednesday shows still those same regions, southwest, Texas, and some areas in the north there. Days 1 through 7 shows a lot in the north from those systems, mainly northern California there, through Oregon, Washington, and Canada. Shows more through Mexico, Arizona, Colorado, New Mexico, and Utah. A lot from the storms in Florida, so be aware. There are some flood advisories and stuff there. Let's see, southern Georgia, the Midwest, and more stuff there. So let's see here. This nothing, but it is like snowfall. I know it's summer, but better check to make sure. It shows like a tiny centimeter of snow in the highest peak of Northern California, but that's like a 1 in 100% chance probability, so probably there won't be anything, but it's a probability there. So let's see. Excessive rainfall, big slight risk of flash flooding today, parts of the Four Corners in the southwest. Be careful with the storms there, might cause flash flooding. 2 marginal risk in Florida and Georgia. Let's see the marginal risk there around the slight risk. Day 2 a marginal, parts of Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, and Wyoming. And yeah, day 3 as marginal southern Florida and Idaho, Oregon, Montana, a marginal New Mexico, Colorado, eastern Arizona, and parts of Utah. Later, day 4, they still don't have anything. Day 5, nothing. So let's see here. So it's still some major and extreme heat risk today in the south, in Texas, especially in Texas, still some extreme heat risk. Be careful with the heat there and everything. New Mexico, Texas, major heat risk and extreme. Tomorrow, still some extreme heat risk there. Be careful. In the north, some moderate. By Saturday, still some extreme heat risk there in Texas, kind of southern Oklahoma, major heat risk throughout the plains, and moderate heat risk in the southwest and mainly Florida. Sunday, more major heat risk throughout the plains and the Midwest. Monday, more scattered moderate to major heat risk. Tuesday, more major to moderate heat risk in central U.S., Florida, and in the West. Wednesday, more major moderate heat risk there, moderate in the West. Even some areas of extreme there. So be aware, and let's see some other stuff. So day 3 through 7 hazards show some high winds in parts of the west, and some hazardous heat there in the plains. Let's see day 8 through 14 shows more above average temperatures and hazard in excessive heat especially, and rapid onset drought. So be aware there. Let's see. Yes, mainly it. So the maximum temperatures today shows up to 112 in Texas there. So please be careful. Do what you can to stay cool and away from the heat and everything. More some is and mainly some is even 90 in Florida. Some is further north, 100 on the southwest, some 90s on the west, some 70s in the north there. And let's see, for tomorrow shows more 90s in the north, still 100s in Texas, New Mexico, Oklahoma, more 100s on the southwest, some 90s in the southeast, and a little bit cooler further north. And let's see, the minimum temperatures shows cooler in the west there. Some 4 is during the early morning and night, and like high 70s the minimum temperatures in Texas. So please stay cool there, be careful. Let's see, day 3 shows still some hundreds through Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas, 90s across the south, some 80s, 100 on the southwest. Day 4 shows more 100s in the plains, lots of 90s throughout the central and areas of Midwest, southeast as well, and southwest, some 100s. And day 7 shows more 90s across the Midwest, the south, even some 100s, southeast, many areas there, 90s and 100s on the southwest. Day 6 shows more 100s in parts of Tennessee, Mississippi, Texas, the southwest, California Valley, and some other areas there, some 90s. Day 7, let's see day 7 next Wednesday. Let's see more 100s on the west, more 100s on the south, 90s, 100s, so be careful there. So the heat wave was like there, and it's like transitioning further east. So let's see. 24-hour max wind gusts shows a windier in the plain in the west there, especially in Nevada, so some gustier winds. This might help fuel some wildfire danger there. Be careful. In California, some gustier winds in the mountains in some areas. Shows in the north, in Washington, Oregon, some gustier winds, mainly the mountains, and some areas of the plains and near the coast to the southeast. This is valid until tomorrow at 9 a.m. So be aware. The hazards, some flood watches in California, in parts of Utah, Arizona, western Colorado. More there, red flag warnings throughout Idaho, Nevada, parts of California and Oregon, heat warnings and advisories in Texas, Oklahoma, and New Mexico, heat advisories in southwestern Florida, and still some flood advisories in the rivers there and stuff. So yes, let's see. So one more thing here is there's 2 days of critical fire threat danger there. So 2 days Nevada, the critical fire weather threat, so be careful there not to start any fires and stay away from fires. And elevated parts of California, Nevada, Utah, Oregon, and Idaho and Montana, so be aware there. Tomorrow still critical in parts of Nevada, going to Utah and southern Idaho, big area of critical fire there. be careful. And an elevator there in parts of northeastern California, Nevada, Oregon, southern Idaho, and Utah. So, and even some isolated dry thunderstorms possible tomorrow in parts of Oregon and western Idaho. So, be careful there. Let's see. And for Canada, the severe weather shows some moderate risk of strong storms possible in Manitoba, like northern Manitoba and southern Manitoba. Maybe a severe storm or two, more minor storms through other areas, some wind, hail, and more stuff. Let's see, and some heavy rain. Let's see. Tonight still shows some minor storms there, northwestern Manitoba. Let's see. On Friday, no, there's no outlook yet, so this is for today only. So stay safe there from the storms. Northwestern Territories, nothing. Let's see. But tomorrow for Friday shows us some minor storms possible with some wind, mainly some gusty winds and some rain there, and gusty winds. So be aware. British Columbia. Wait. Here, so British Columbia shows some minor storms possible today in some mountains there. And let's see, in Ontario shows, let's see, today shows some minor storms there in Western Ontario. They might be stronger too because of the system Manitoba. And let's see. And there's nothing there. And for today, southern Quebec, some minor storms there. Let's see. Tonight, nothing. And tomorrow, let's see. And tomorrow, some minor storms in eastern Quebec there. So Atlantic Canada shows for today, let's see, some minor storms in New Brunswick, but nothing crazy. So let's see here. Western Canada, the European model has some storms in Alberta, mainly Saskatchewan there, but in Alberta, storm or two. But later this afternoon doesn't show much, mainly some showers and a storm or two in the foothills of British Columbia and Alberta, and more rain in Yukon and Alaska and those areas from those other systems, so be aware there. Northwestern Territories, more rain tomorrow, a storm or two. Then Friday to Saturday, those storms could come like Saturday from the system in the Pacific Northwest. Then it shows a lot of storms and rain through Saturday in Alberta, Saskatchewan, and British Columbia there. So be aware the system keeps going by Sunday, still affecting Alberta, Saskatchewan, and maybe Nunavut and some other areas there with rain and storms. The other system comes there by Sunday afternoon to British Columbia, some more rain through Yukon, some snow in the mountains, and it continues there for next Tuesday. Then it moves into Western Canada there, leaves some snow in those mountains too, then goes into Central Canada there. So even some more systems later there by the last days of August. So let's see, Central Canada shows the stronger to severe storms in parts of Manitoba. Today, like northern Manitoba, but in central southern Manitoba, showing more concentration of strong storms. And tonight into northwestern Manitoba and goes into Ontario, like northeastern Manitoba, northwestern Ontario. Then goes to Hudson Bay, but still more storms in Ontario for Friday, tomorrow. But be careful today, those stronger storms there. Let's see. There's the GFS, it also shows the stronger storms in Manitoba and to Ontario there. And let's see. Later by Friday it goes there, and those new storms come by Saturday into Saskatchewan and Manitoba, Maine. And then by Saturday and Sunday, the storms in Manitoba, the system goes northern Saskatchewan into Nunavut, then leaves that cold from there to Quebec and Ontario. Then that new system emerges from the US by Tuesday the 27th and affects Ontario and Quebec. Then the new system comes there into central Canada by Thursday the 29th, and then it keeps going, goes into Friday, continuing through central Canada by Friday the 30th, and goes into Quebec there. So in eastern Canada, shows some minor storms in southern Quebec today, and parts of the northeastern US, some storms too. So even Nova Scotia shows some showers, a storm or two in eastern Quebec tonight, going to tomorrow there. And then let's see, the system there goes into Ontario on the Hudson Bay, and then a storm or two in Quebec by Saturday there, and then more storms and rain south central Quebec by Sunday. Then it shows those other systems later by next Tuesday and next Wednesday there might bring some more heavy rain, so be aware. That's mainly it. So the HER for southern Canada, it shows the storms there in Manitoba. There are already storms there, but they will like evolve, mainly go northeastern direction this afternoon, but it shows already some very strong storms there through south central Manitoba. They continue north. Let's see. Then tomorrow a storm or two there, but nothing crazy. But be careful in Manitoba there. Today shows, let's see, the storms in the northeast and in Quebec there, in New Brunswick. So be aware. No, those storms in the southwest there, in Colorado, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico. So be aware. And in Florida there, those storms. So be careful. And mainly it. Let's see. For some hazards, this might change later, but it shows some air quality advisories for Saskatchewan, Manitoba, because of the wildfire smoke. British Columbia, special air quality statements for the smoke. Yukon, also special air quality statements for the smoke there. Northwestern Territories, an air quality advisory for low visibility and bad air quality because of the smoke. Still storm surge warning in the northern coast of Yukon. Let's see, lasting through Sunday, so until Sunday, be aware there. Let's see, wind warning in northern Quebec today, so up to 100 kilometers per hour, so be aware there. And this is mainly it. Let's see what they have here on the temperatures. It's still hot in Ontario there, especially northern Ontario, like 29, 30 degrees. Let's see some higher 20s in other areas. Southern Saskatchewan, Manitoba in the 20s too, 21, and colder further north. Quebec in the low 20s, maybe teens. Let's see, 19, 13, so be aware, but nothing crazy. So it's mild there, so nice weather, and hotter in Ontario there. So yeah, and the wind gusts, each model has a different thing, but the European has, let's see, those stronger winds in northern Ontario there, up to 79 kilometers per hour, but some higher resolution models might have showed like 100 kilometers per hour, but let's see, 75 kilometers per hour. And then later might have some gusty winds in Ontario Saturday, some other areas of Nunavut by Sunday as the system crosses there. Let's see, and that big system goes Monday into Saskatchewan, Nunavut and Manitoba, Northwestern Territories, and the Europeans really kicking some strong winds there by Monday. Some really strong winds there it's showing by that system on Monday there. Let's see the more systems later, even next Wednesday into Montana, Alberta and Saskatchewan and British Columbia, and Alaska there because of some systems, some stronger winds there. So yeah, be aware. Let's see. And then it shows in those mountains there, the snow because of those systems in Alaska, in some of those mountains, and even the European model has even some mountains in the U.S. there, the accumulation the next 5 days. So, but mainly the mountains in Canada there. So that's mainly it. Stay safe.